Have you ever heard of somebody who abducts little boys?
Room below's got some horrible smells.
We don't want to go in there.
What are you doing?
Complimentary room service. There is that.
Hello and welcome to another Dollar Store Drive-In. I'm your host, Laura.
I'm Joel, and I'm not a blood predator.
Oh, but we are the Newly Deads. And if this is your first time watching, this is a half-hour chat show where we discuss a movie that we've watched with all of you guys. And if this is not your first time watching, welcome back. We also air this as a podcast. So if you are on, I'm guessing, Spotify, I don't know if they put it out anywhere else in the world, but you can find us on there. And it's under Dollar Store Drive-In, the Newly Deads. If you're listening to us, we highly suggest that you find us because this is a visual show. So you can hear it when you're listening to the podcast, but he does a lot of editing and does a lot of sound effects. I'm sure he's probably doing some crazy sound effects now. I don't know until he's done editing it. Yeah. And you can also see our cute dogs. This one's Bailey. It's licking his leg.
He's chewing.
But you can find our show at thenewlydeads.com, where you can find a whole bunch of information about us on that site as well. Mr. Newly Dead over here does blog posts. He writes a lot of reviews on movies. We also have other YouTube shows that we show on the Newly Dead's channel on YouTube. So he does unboxing videos. We do Sinister Snacks videos. We're just, trying to keep it real over here.
And we show classic episodes of Dollar Store Drive-In.
We do. So if you are behind on any of these shows, you can watch some of our past ones.
Before we had microphones.
And when we had a different setup, because after we did our 100th episode, we decided to switch it up a little bit. So now you can see the shelf that Joel's always talking about. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about a movie that we watched. This week, is this the last one on here?
No.
Oh, right.
No.
It's the last one. No, it's not the last one on there either. Okay,
We're
so
there.
this is a 2-box set that we got. Remember where we got this?
I do.
Where?
We got it at the Peck thing.
Oh, the Pick thing. All right. It's the Snow Creature and Creature Collection kind of thing. There's 9 movies, but they ended up coming on like a couple of different sets. It's a weird twofer thing that we got.
Yeah.
But we watched Blood Predator. That's right, Blood Predator. I'm gonna do the synopsis, but it's really short.
Wait, what about criteria?
I know, but I'm just saying I'm gonna do the synopsis, but it's gonna be really short. No. I'll do that. I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at the back of the box here.
It's
tiny. Anyways,
like the Predators.
Yeah. Yes. But we do have some criteria for the show. So in order to keep this show on track, the movies that we watch need to be, first of all, under $5. They need to be a horror, thriller, or sci-fi genre movie. And it needs to be a movie that neither of us have ever seen before. So far, we've been pretty good. I mean, he watches a lot of movies, and we've never had any that he's like, oh, wait, I've seen this one. Except for, like, ones that we actually purposely choose. So that was, like, Friday the 13th or something.
Friday the 13th Part 6 is the only one that we've actually watched.
That he saw.
Prior to us getting on a network of any kind.
Yeah.
So, and that was a special episode because it was Friday the 13th.
Exactly. So yeah. But we watched Blood Predator.
You were so excited.
I'm going to read this real slow. Real slow.
Okay.
Real slow. No, I'm not going to read it really slow. No. All right. Stranded in the mountains. The survivors of a jet crash forced to fight off a rapidly multiplying extraterrestrial beast. And
I mean,
I forgot that it said rapidly multiplying. That's the funny thing is, it's like, we read the synopsis the week before at the end of the show, and then I read it again after we've watched the movie, and I always completely forget whatever the back of the box said the week before. So it's funny when we watch the movie and then read the synopsis. I'm like, oh, they did tell us that it was a rapidly multiplying extraterrestrial beast.
did we see that it came from space?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Wasn't that in
either.
the beginning?
Well, they had like a shot from space, but I don't remember like a flying saucer
Right,
thing.
that's it. They just showed space, and then they showed
A plane,
the mountains.
and then the horribly. Oh, we'll get to that. Oh, yeah. There's a lot to talk about. This is
Well,
what's
wasn't there another guy that like found the thing first?
Yes.
Yeah.
He found the cabin.
He found the
first,
cabin first, so it wasn't the plane.
and he got blood predated right away.
Yeah, they just showed a random guy going to a cabin, and yeah,
Blood predated.
blood predator.
That is a verb in this episode.
Yep.
So
It
get
was
ready.
actually. All right. Well, I'm gonna pause it. Oh wait, you gotta, because we're gonna do the trailer. And I just want it to be like a flying saucer, because we need an extraterrestrial to come in on a flying saucer. Otherwise, it's not real. So make it be a flying saucer.
We'll see what we can do.
All right. We'll be right back.
Somebody help.
Get out of here now!
All right, let's go.
We're back, and Mr. Newly Dead has some notes.
I do. So whenever we watch a movie, I will take notes digitally, and then Mrs. Newley at the end of the year will collect them, put them in a flip book. You'll find it on our aforementioned website. 2023 and 24 are both available on the website currently, so you can go flippy through them, see what we wrote down. Yep. See what thoughts we had, behind the scenes kind of stuff. See all the stuff that I draw, and it's just a fun trip down the inside of my brain. But anyway, and then Mrs. Newlydad also this year has committed to taking notes for the entire year, and so far,
So good. Even when I fall asleep.
she does it analog, so it's all in this little book here that she does with her, pencils and pens and whatnot. So we'll see about whether that ends up on the site. We are still discussing that. So at this point, I'll show you what I did, and you can explain it to the people watching at home.
He's got a pointy-chinned guy with like a star eye kind of looking thing.
I don't know what's going on with that.
A toothy-looking dude with big teeth and a tongue.
So before we saw the blood predators in full,
Mm-hmm.
that was just my
Oh,
quick interpretation of
Is
what I
that what it
thought they
was?
might look like.
and then I see your thing where it says "Now kiss."
Yeah, because there was, things that happened where I was just like, kiss, now kiss. And then they did. Oh, later they did, but.
Yep.
What do you got?
Oh, I drew this little dude.
Oh, see, now that looks more like the blood predator.
Yeah, he's got teeth. It
He's
says
got
teeth.
tubes, yeah.
And then I did some lettering on the top or whatever, but I didn't finish it.
She always writes the title in kind of an illustrative lettering style, because that's what she likes to do, one of the things she likes to do. And this time, it didn't quite get finished.
Yep.
That's okay. So, Blood Predator is from 2007, currently sitting at a whopping 2.4 out of 10 on the Internet Movie Database.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. This is written and directed by Paul Gagné. That's with a little on the back because that's like French, I think.
So it's like Gagne or something.
That's probably more correct than Gagné.
Probably not Gagne.
Gagné and Lacey, like the cop show from the 80s. Anyway, so he is known for writing The Slaughterhouse Massacre, which he also directed. This, which he obviously, which we mentioned him. And then he directed something called Legend of Killers, but I couldn't see that he wrote it. He only wrote the 2.
Only 2.
Only 2. And that's it. So this stars one Mary Simpkins, and that's Merry, like Merry Christmas, who was in one episode of Gilmore Girls.
She was.
Yep. Which we just finished the entire series and the 4-part follow-up series, the limited series. But yeah, she was in one episode. She was, I believe, the one that was unlikable, blonde woman in the movie.
The
shooty bang bang girl.
Oh,
I think
the
that's,
Karen lady.
Yeah, I think that's who that was. She also was in an episode of Big Time Rush, the Nickelodeon show about the boy band. She was in something called The Defenders, not the Marvel show, but a movie called The Defenders, and something called Friends with Benefits.
Like the movie Friends with Benefits?
I don't think it was the Ashton Kutcher one.
Maybe.
I think it was something else. There's more than one movie, I think, with that title.
Yeah.
But I'll put it up here so you guys will know. This also stars Bill Devlin, who was in something called Rectuma, which is exactly what you think it is. Buddy Hutchinson, which looks like if you took Jamie Kennedy and plugged him into Falling Down, the Michael Douglas movie, because he's about a guy that's like an office worker that loses his crap and goes on like a rampage. Not like in like a Belko experiment mayhem sort of way, but more like, or like, he was a quiet one, the Christian Slater movie. Looks more like that. He was also in Evil Nanny.
Funny.
And something called Growing Out, which no idea what that's about.
Better than Growing In.
Right. This also stars Mark Irvingson, who was in Scarecrow Slayer, which I think we absolutely need to see.
That sounds fun.
Dracula's Guest, which I think we absolutely need to see. Something called Chop that I've already seen. That's with an exclamation point. And something called Nipples and Palm Trees.
Nipples and Palm Trees.
Yeah.
Sounds like a porn.
I don't think it is, though. But it just sounds like a badly titled movie.
Yeah.
And finally, Paul Gagné, or
Gagne,
was also in the movie. I forgot to mention that. He was on, or was in Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
Oh.
He was in The Green River Killer about...
The Green River Killer?
Rifkin? Was that his name?
I think so.
Something Rifkin. Not Ron Rifkin. That's an actor.
Cal Ripken.
Cal Rifkin Jr. No, it's... Anyway, I'll put it up here.
Ruffkins.
And The Da Vinci Treasure, which is, I believe, one of the mockbuster versions of the Da Vinci Code.
Oh.
So, yeah. At this point, my wife turns to me and she says lovingly,
"What did you think?" And
this is where we really get into this and where you're all about to get blood predatored. So be ready for it.
Yeah, Isaiah said that. I even put it in quotes.
That it was.
You're gonna get blood predatored.
It was there. The kid, my kid was watching it with us. They couldn't take their eyes off it because it was so fantastic. And so they coined the phrase being blood predatored, and we liked it, so we ran with it.
Yep.
So it starts out, as we mentioned, there's a shot from space, and then you do a hard cut to
like the mountains.
The mountains, like a bunch of
and it's not to the plane. It goes to a guy.
Oh, is the guy first?
Yeah, that was like in the woods or something.
Like lost or something.
Yeah, and he like went into this house and he's looking for a phone or something like that.
Somebody to help him.
And he gets blood predatored.
Yeah, he ends up in the basement and gets blood predatored.
No, he wasn't in the basement. I don't think it was like a closet. Remember? It's like a closet, and like he opens up the door, and the blood predator like is like comes out or whatever, and it was like
he's got.
And then he went chomp chomp, remember? And then it was like,
oh yeah, and then like a sucking sound, and we're like,
and then
we had to rewind it.
Then there was blood on the ground, dripping.
There was chewing and slurping.
That's funny. Then they show some stock footage
of the mountains
of a plane flying.
Well, the plane, I think, pretty much, if memory serves, it's basically if you took a toy plane and green screened it into And it's a small plane that is full of all the people in the movie, including a pilot, which the pilot we never know what
It's a
happens to.
tiny plane. It's like a puddle jumper.
Yeah, it is a very small plane. The guy's like, we're going down. And one of the rich guys like, I'll give you $1,000 to get us safely to our destination. He's like, it's not gonna work.
We're going to die, pony, is what he said to him. And he's like, no, like, I can't keep flying. Like, we're literally about to crash land because it's like a blizzard.
He's like, I don't need your money. I just need us to survive this.
Yeah.
Which that guy becomes a running thing where he keeps trying to bribe people with money.
And then they crash. And like plane parts flying all over the place.
And the
Wing fell off or something.
pilot is never heard from again. We
Nope.
don't know what happens to him.
Dead pilot.
We assume he dies.
But then they show like a stock footage thing of like the mountain far away with like 5 people just like walking like on top of the mountain. Like
then
that's
they do a
supposed to be
hard cut
them.
to a wolf, stock footage of a wolf.
Yeah.
And, it does not match the rest of the
No.
footage whatsoever.
No.
It almost looks like it's shot on video, but I'm pretty sure it was like one step up from that, or it was converted to 16 millimeter or 8 millimeter. I don't know. But it's pretty low fi. So they end up
Silly.
at the same house where the first guy got blood predatored within like 5 minutes of walking in the door. They walk in the door and they don't start getting blood predatored until like
Long time.
a couple
Days.
days into it. Yeah. So I don't know what the blood predator was doing during that time, whether it was knitting or just like
Well, they were making
sleeping.
babies.
Oh yeah, they were multiplying, and then towards the end they just multiplied like crazy. But
Yeah,
so
just like so all over the place.
there's no food. Obviously they've got plenty of water because there's snow everywhere. But then there's a snowcat outside, and the one guy's
Which
like,
is like a big, I don't know if you don't know what a snowcat is.
No,
It's like
right.
it's like a bobcat, but it goes through the snow. So it's got like these big treads, like
it's
a tank.
large.
Yeah. And he's like, I can probably get that thing to run or whatever. I'm
I used to be in the military.
I can do whatever I want. I'm super awesome or whatever. Meanwhile, that's the mean lady's like husband.
Yeah.
She's just I don't know, man. She had a bee in her bonnet from the plane. She was dropping the F-bomb like left and right. And she's
She
just
was
like,
mean.
I don't want to be on this stupid trip. Like, you're an idiot. Like, just being super mean to her husband the entire time and to everybody else.
Then you've got the rich guy and his
Yes.
bubble-headed
He's
girlfriend.
he's just like smoking cigars constantly. And like, saying like, oh, I'll just pay everybody off, and like, you just give me, I'll give you $100 to do whatever whatever, and just
The tool barn.
stupid. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's like a bimbo gold digger, like kept talking like, baby, like, oh baby, like just stupid. And then the smart girl is the lesbian one. I think.
Yeah, she's there, but her partner has passed away at some
Yep.
point, which comes up with the plot later.
Yep. And
So she's
then-
sad.
I said the tortured artist.
Um,
Oh, that's the one that's dating the cheater guy, the snowboarder.
oh yeah, she's like, yeah, she's the one that is kind of the one you're supposed to, I think, identify with. Maybe
Yeah.
she's like the most kind of
She's
normal.
like Lydia.
And then she's dating the snowboarder guy. That's a complete tool barn as well.
And not anything like, yeah. He
He's-
cheated on her and she's like, she knew it and she not
she's trying to break up with him, and he's like, no.
Yeah, basically. He's like, no, we're gonna go home and we're gonna get
Sure.
married.
So the guy's like, I'll fix the snowcat. So the next day after they get up, he's like, I'm going to go fix the snowcat. So he fixes it. They get into the snowcat and they do this footage of the snowcat, which they must have gotten a good deal on renting it, or it was part of the.
And this
The
is the only
house.
time they could do it.
And so they get in it and they start driving it. And when they start driving it, because the night before it was like a blizzard, there was snow everywhere.
They're in the
And,
mountains. That's the
uh,
whole premise. It's freezing.
they're
Blah,
trapped.
blah.
They can't get out 'cause
No
there's too much
food.
snow.
So much snow.
And they get out in the snowcat. It's a spring day. Everything's green. Everything's blooming.
It's like borderline summertime.
And you see the snowcat. You don't see them from the inside, but you see them on the inside, but you don't see them from a distance. It's just somebody driving the snowcat. They get about, I don't know, 100 feet, and they cut
It
back
breaks
to
down.
them, and they're like, oh, it broke down. He's like, I can't fix it. It's out of gas, or it's out of the battery died, or whatever. And the guy's like, I'll give you $2,000 to get the snowcat working. And he's like, I can't. I need a battery or whatever. He's like, I
Right.
can't fix it. And he's all mad about it. And then they cut back to the front of the house once they're back inside, and the snow is all back.
Oh yeah.
It's returned
hmm
magically.
Yep.
I don't know. The blood predator must have had something to do with
Yeah.
it.
And then it just gets worse with the snow. Like it gets so bad that like they tried to open up the window or whatever to get
escape.
out, and like it's like the snow is like above the window, so she's like digging the snow out, like trying to get it like so they can scooch out the window or whatever. I'm
And
like,
finally she breaks through enough that they can get out, and then it's just a straight shot from there outside. Like there's no mountain of snow inside or outside. There's no like further impediments. It's just like as soon as she cut through, they could get out. Like the snow must have been literally just like 2 feet in front of the thing, just straight up and
and
down.
nothing there.
And there was no other snow.
And everything's
except way out,
grass.
and it was fine. It was weird.
They kept like also going back to that shot with them on top of the mountain walking around.
Just like this random, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. And we're like, how long are they going to survive with just water? Which, you can survive like 7 days or something like that with just water. So, but they don't have any food. And
I think
the
you can
days
survive
went
longer
by.
than
It was
that.
like 3 or 4 days they were there at least.
You can survive like a
before-
month without food, I think.
I don't. It's a while.
Yeah.
I'll find it. I'll put it up here. But they don't really complain about being hungry at all. And it's like, I don't know. It was a weird choice that there wasn't any food in the house or anything. But so they're like, oh yeah, they were there like 4 days or so, maybe. It's hard to tell because the days and nights got a little confusing. But the blood predator just leaves them alone, and they're just trying to figure out ways to get out. And the one guy's like, I'm gonna snowboard out of here. So he leaves, and then they go outside, and his torso is like on the front, right in front of the door, like the blood predator left it as a gift. And they're like, oh my gosh, he's dead. And they're all upset. And then
That's when I fell asleep.
the smart girl seduces the smart girl seduces
lesbian.
the
Mhm.
whatever. It's really, and the
She
girl
seduces the
boyfriend just
tortured
died.
artist that was dating the
he
snowboarder
literally
guy.
died like 12
And she's
12
crying
minutes before, and she seduces her, and
He's
it's like,
dead. Yeah.
what is happening? It's such a weird thing.
Oh, and then boobs, and there's lots and lots of boobs.
There is quite a few boobs in
so
this.
many boobs.
And so many hard left turns, and then we should probably cut to like once the action finally starts. So they finally realize that there's a creature in there, and the blood predator is horrible mixture of CGI for some of them that looks totally different from the actual
Yep.
animatronic whatever it was. They don't look the same.
They look like giant white ants.
Yeah, they look a lot because they don't really have
Smooth.
eyeballs per se, but there's little indentations, a little black underneath the surface.
And they've
kind of
got like,
things.
6 legs.
And they have lots of teeth.
Some of them didn't.
They kind of look like,
the original blood predator had lots of teeth.
but then like there's all these offspring, and they just keep getting more and more and more, and you don't know where they're coming from because they've been down in the basement. They didn't see them before, and they make noise. They kind of remind me, for those of you who are deep into old like 80s and 90s creature features, there's a movie called The Suckling that actually I was going to recommend, but I couldn't because the premise is way too far off from this. But the creature in The Suckling looks very similar, except a lot more effective as far as the teeth goes. So eventually it turns into an all-out like battle between the blood predators and the people that are left. And one of the guys, did they find the gun or did they have the gun?
I don't remember where the gun came from.
But somebody had a gun,
Yeah, I think they found the gun maybe.
and it's just like a 6-shot pistol. Like there's not like a clip to it. They don't say that where they're getting the bullets from. They don't say that they even have found bullets. They just have this gun.
Karen's got, she's the one that has the gun or whatever, and
Because she's like, I know how to use this. And
because I'm a postal worker.
we went, what? This is 2007 and you're still making postal worker like jokes? Like that was something like Uwe Boll made a whole movie about that is terrible, by the way. But, that was like, I don't know, earlier 2000s or late 90s. And I don't know, it just felt like a weird out of place joke that was in bad taste anyway. But I start counting off the shots she's making.
And then you lose count because
She's like, at some point after she shot about like 15 or 20 shots out of this 6-shot pistol, she's like, I got to reload. So she reloads, I think. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to count. And so I gave up after about 35 or so. And I just wrote down a little infinity symbol because she apparently had the gun on infinity. She put the cheat code in or something.
she was like, yeah,
Just like nonstop. And if you've
Like-
ever worked with a 6-shot anything and reloading it, unless you got a fast loader, which unless you're like a
Like
cop,
a clip.
you're probably not going to have one.
Right.
And even so, it takes a while to reload one of those. And not that I have a lot of experience, but I've seen enough movies. I've handled a gun before that was like that, but it takes a while to load.
It does. Yeah. And you have to have bullets.
And yeah, they don't explain anything about any of that. She's
Weird.
just shooting, and sometimes she hits them and they like explode, and sometimes she hits them and nothing happens, and sometimes she just doesn't hit anything. She's like a stormtrooper. It's really weird. And there's like all these white little weird CGI blood predators all over the walls. There's like ones in the ceiling. Then like occasionally you'll see like up close one of the ones that's like a, you know, an actual physical like thing.
Not CGI.
And I don't know. It just went way off the rails. And so eventually their plan is that the basement is made of concrete. The upstairs obviously is a wooden cabin, but the basement is made of concrete. So if they light the basement on fire, it will not damage the cabin above and they'll be fine.
Because it's concrete down there.
Because it's a concrete basement, which logic does not apply to this world, apparently. So they decide they're going to light the basement on fire. They never really get that opportunity, at least not. I don't know if, I don't remember. Did they?
Yeah,
ever
they
bring
did.
Cameron
Because I
eventually?
said, I wrote down that there was CGI fire.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. So at this point, we won't give away the ending in case you want to watch it, but we don't recommend you watch it, I don't think. Unless you want to laugh, watch it with friends. There's only 2 people left. And one of them's like, I'm going to stay behind to start the fire or whatever. And the other one's like, she's like, get out of here. And I gave away one of them. So the one person goes outside and the other person eventually lights the house on fire. All the blood predators are inside. They're like thinking if they do this, they'll all die and everybody will be happy. But everybody else is dead at this point. So as soon as that person gets out of the cabin to join the other person that's already outside, the cabin like bursts into flames, and I don't know if it explodes or something. Like it just like.
Well, yeah, they had to dig out the snow to get outside, and then once they get
Oh,
outside,
right.
yeah.
So they had to go out through the window. And incidentally, spoiler alert, this is the end of the movie. The 2 people that survived after the cabin is engulfed in flames and there's nowhere else to go, just wander off to go get rescued. And that's the end of the movie. Like, we don't know if they got rescued. We don't know where their plan was to go. They just knew they were going to light the place on fire. And
We
run.
did it!
Yay! Like they jump up in the air and freeze framed. That didn't happen. I wish it would have. That would have been
I'm sure they probably got eaten by that CGI or the stock footage wolf that was like wandering around.
Because you saw the wolf again and they were convinced that the wolf is who killed the snowboarder.
No,
It was not the wolf. He was blood
it
predator.
was so dumb. All right,
Uh,
well, what are your final thoughts?
So my final thoughts are, let's go home. Ow? No, that was it.
That's it?
You almost fell. Because they don't give any, like, there's no ending. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. They just wander off. And meanwhile, they've spent like 4 days trying to figure out how to get out of there, thinking they're never going to find a way out. And then all of a sudden, I guess, desperation set in. I don't know.
They don't have that rich guy anymore either.
Yeah,
to-
they can't buy his way
Oh,
out. He's
by
like,
the-
hey, Wolf, here's $1,000 not to eat me.
By the way, they do have some sex scenes in there. And one of the sex scenes is him and the bimbo girl that he was, just traipsing around with him. And she's on top, and he's just smoking a cigar in her face the entire time. I'm just like,
I'm sure everybody's got their thing, and that's okay.
he's
You
just like,
do you.
yeah, but smoking a cigar, just like blowing it in her face.
He's not even subtle about it. He's just like got in his mouth, chomping on it, like just like right
Yeah.
in her face, and she's like,
Whee!
like this is good time.
Anyways, so my final thoughts are giant ants, horrible CGI, horrible acting, stock videos, but a cute monster because of all the teeth. And then I said, oh, and also boobs.
So we enjoyed the Blood Predator design, and this movie, like I said, if you watch this with a bunch
The
of friends,
non-CGI'd one, yeah.
you probably
He's
probably would have you'd probably enjoy it as a group watch with
Yeah.
if you drink, that probably would help. I don't know.
Oh
Drink,
yeah,
but-
every time the one lady swears, every time
Supposed to love her.
the bimbo lady says babe or whatever she kept calling him,
Every time you see a blood predator,
every time that
you'll
guy
be-
has a cigar in his mouth, every time he bribes someone with money,
every time
yeah,
there's
you
stock
get
footage, you'd be hammered by
Woo!
you'd be hammered by half an hour in.
hammered.
Oof.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyways,
so that's the only way we're recommending this.
so what would you give it out of 5 giant ants?
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice. So I felt that, from a perspective of it being a fun watch with multiple people, I ended up giving it a 0.15. Never done that before. Out of 5.
I gave it a -50.
And what happened during the course of the
I
film?
fell
forgot to-
asleep.
So at least one of those points is because she fell asleep.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Oh, I missed.
I did. I
forgot.
fell
Sorry.
asleep. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
You can't blow it up. Sorry, honey.
oh yeah.
Because we need it because there's still more.
Oh
movies
yeah,
on it.
yeah. So what do you recommend if they don't want to watch this movie?
So, like I said, The Suckling was my initial recommendation, but that has to do with some stuff that does not apply to this whatsoever. So instead, I went with 1981's The Boogans,
The Bookends,
which we just watched about a year ago, and Laura had never seen it,
no.
and I had never seen it. I used to be scared of it as a kid, and I picked it up and finally got to watch it. And that creature in there just kind of reminded me, kind of where you felt
Yeah.
a little sorry for it. It's kind of cute.
Yeah,
It lives in the basement of the house. Like they're upstairs being attacked by the Boogans. I don't remember if there's snow on the ground or not, but
yeah,
it just felt kind of similar. So,
yeah.
The Boogans.
The Bookends.
If you've never seen it, watch it with friends.
All right. So what are we watching next week? Motorhome Massacre. The Road Ends Here. This looks like a new one. Is this one of our new ones?
That one was one that we just got at Hidden Treasures.
Oh, Hidden Treasures.
Yep.
For all of your treasure needs.
For all your movie watching
Ooh,
fun.
this is a long synopsis.
Well, you know, it's the only movie on there, so
Nice.
it's gonna happen.
I'm pretty excited about that. All right. All they made was one wrong turn.
Oh.
Prepare for the gripping story of 7 young friends who climb aboard a vintage RV and ride straight into hell.
Oh.
Sabrina, just coming off a recent breakup, agrees to join her friends for a weekend away, hoping she can escape and relax. As the group journey deeper and deeper into the woods, they do not realize that they're being stalked by a military-grade, machete-wielding psychopath. And as the killer gets closer and the night becomes darker, it becomes clear that there is no escape. And what started as a thrill ride quickly becomes a terrifying torture chamber. From 2005.
This sounds bloody and gutty. Blood gutty.
Blood Gutty.
No blood predators, though.
No,
Have a seat over there, sir,
just
to
a
catch a blood predator.
chainsaw.
Just a chainsaw wielding, apparently government sanctioned murderer. I
Mhm.
don't understand.
I'm excited about that.
I just anytime there's a chainsaw, I'm in. And so yeah, I'm not going to say I'm excited because whenever we say that, we're usually let down, like with Blood Predator.
But we'll see.
But we'll see. We'll find out soon enough, and you'll find out too next
Yeah.
week.
All right. Well, thank you again for watching. And until next week.
Keep it cheap and creepy.
Doesn't mean you should go chasing the dead.
It may be your robot, but it's my house.
I want to get a close look at these sharks.
Sounds dangerous.
Well, I'll be careful.
Wow.